Hey Sam, happy Wednesday. Yes, it's been a few days, and I've been at college for said few days. So let's see what's new. I spent like all the hours. Like I must have spent at least like 10 hours at this point, figuring out my class schedule, and I'm probably going to be spending like all of tomorrow. Um, okay, so the class scheduling thing here is kind of dumb, and there's like waitlists and stuff, and then the waitlist they drop tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then it was a free-for-all for who can be like the first person to just like snipe classes and stuff. So because I have to wake up at 9 a.m. because like the first like 10 minutes is the most violent time where you can pick up any class you want. And basically there's a bunch of classes that I didn't get and that I want to get, and so I'm gonna have to try to snipe them. But other things. So, okay, basically I just spent a shit ton of time trying to figure out what in the world I wanted to do with my life, because what my future plans are very directly influences which classes I should be taking. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. And in the end, I guess I had to figure out what I wanted to do, where it seemed like I'm going for BSMS. Actually, the reason why it's so hard for me to explain what happened and what I did, because I still don't know what I'm doing, or what I did, and what I will do. And like, okay, in summary, I spent a lot of time thinking about my course schedule, and I'm pretty sure, what the fuck? Okay, I just hit a button, and now it just said AEAF lock. I don't know what that means. Whatever. So this is just a button. Okay, but I spent a lot of time thinking about my course schedule, and I guess I came to some answers, and it's definitely much better now, where it's at least like acceptable now. It's fine, I guess, but it's still not like optimal or good. And I have tomorrow and Friday to figure that out. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to snipe classes. In order to do that, I'm gonna be sitting on a computer screen for like basically 24 hours straight, probably over that. Well, basically until I get all the classes I want, just like waiting for the notification drop to immediately snipe and press the button. Because like during the most competitive classes, you have like 15 seconds to sign up for them after. Like there's a bot that notifies me when like the class opens up. And, like it's tragic because I would just make a bot just like sign up automatically, but they like incredibly ban that, and they like, if they catch you using a bot, they basically ban you from manually registering, and you have to get your like advisor to register for you. But the advisors here are utterly worthless, which means you basically never get any class you want ever again. So can't do that. And yeah, so that's been like half my work effort. I also had an HRT interview, Hudson River Trading, on Monday, and it was really, really silly because they barely spent like over half of the time. Like this was meant to be a technical interview, but then we spent 60% of the time just talking about my resume, and in particular my time at Optiva. And it really, really seemed like the guy was more interested in learning about Optiva than about me. We just kept asking questions that were like had really very little evaluative value, but like the type of thing you would ask if you wanted to know what your competitors are doing. But I think in the end I didn't leave. I think I made just stay within the NDA, of course, but like there's quite a few things you can say without breaking it that are just like. Well, I think the basic moral of the story was he was continuously shocked by how dumb a lot of what they were doing were. Whatever. But then he gave me a coding problem, and that was obviously unimaginably trivial. And then he gave me this math problem that was, you roll a die until you get a 6. What is the expected number of rolls? And like it was obviously trivially 6 if you just think about it. But I actually kind of froze and ended up writing out the equation to rigorously do it. So that wasted 5 minutes, but still pretty fast. And then he made a harder version, which was now you do this process twice. What's the expected value of the max or something? And that took fucking forever, and I kind of made a complete utter fool of myself. And like I maybe got an answer, whatever. But in the end, it seemed like the guy didn't care enough because I was good at CS and whatever. I remember I asked the question of like, should I study this sort of probability stuff? Does it matter? And then he was like, well, there are a lot of people here with your background who are good at, who are into CS, and I'm like, oh, okay. Which is probably him saying that, he didn't really care that much about the fact that I was sort of pretty miserable at it. Hopefully. Or maybe I'm fucked, so whatever. But now I got my next interview scheduled for Friday, and so I will tell you how that goes in the Sunday video. And I guess that's most of the time I have for today. So I will see you on Sunday. Bye, brother.